Why, hello there, kobolds and alchemists alike. Shams Nelson here from Pen and Blade. And in this episode of, I don't know, is this going to be a sketchorama? I don't know what this is. Whatever this episode is, we're going to be looking at a drawing created by the kobold alchemist himself. And you can follow him at the Kobold Alchemist. And oops, I guess I cut that off in the thingy. But here you can see the full painting, but I needed to move it over so that I could have room to draw. And I'm gonna basically like take this character and do him in my own, like how I would do him, and maybe point out some things I would have done differently, or like how I would try to take this character and this drawing to the next level. I don't think I'm going to comment too much on the coloring or anything. I think he did a great job but the one thing I might say is that down here, like he has this a slightly darker a darker shadow color there, so I might incorporate some of that in the nostril and stuff. Oh, it already is. Is that already the darker color shadow? Maybe even make it a little darker and cooler. Would it go that way? Is that right? I'm not sure. But yeah, so I might just double emphasize some of the shadows in the darkest spots to give them even more depth, because I think you got a lot of depth going on here, but that's the one maybe the one little area, the one thing you could do to even push that further. So that might be a bit too much, but I think you get the idea. Alright, cool, so let's get into the sketching phase of things. Alright, so I'm gonna try to take this character based on what he looks like to me. So the basic feature is I'm gonna, okay, starting from the top, we've got the hair going back. We're gonna have, I'm just gonna talk about it while I start drawing the general face shape. We're gonna have a longish face with a really big, strong chin and pretty thick neck, quite a thick neck. So strong looking guy. And I won't worry about the outfit too much. Maybe I will just stop right around the undershirt, but we could, I don't know. I'm not really good at drawing hoods and stuff like that, or I haven't really practiced the clothing folds yet, so I don't think I'm going to get into that in this video either, except every time I say I'm not going to get into something, I get into something. But really, you guys, you gotta believe me, I'm not going to get into that. Alright, cool. So let's just start off with that, and let's draw this dude up. So the first thing we're going to do is, so I'm going to decide, like, okay, so he's got a big chin, so let's start from there, and just give him a big chin. We're going to use a fantastic anatomy method to lay in the skull. He's got a pretty small nose, so let's make that a small nose, like that. And then his eyes are a little high, it seems, so that's kind of giving the long big face impression. He's got a pretty square jaw, and we're going to have his cheekbones sticking out and everything. So he's got, high cheekbones and that kind of bone structure. And I feel like his eyebrows are high up, giving the impression that he's like raising his eyebrows, like, oh, you are so, like, I don't know, like he's very almost arrogant, or like one step below before arrogant. What would that be? So we'll just copy the hairline, like the hairline following the eye socket and everything like that, and then stick some ears. And already we're getting kind of the face that I'm thinking. The one thing that we haven't represented yet, and actually this is something I'm going to try a new method where I kind of, it's hard to describe, but I'm going to try a new method here where I've been using like this to kind of get the eyes in place. So there's like that muscle. I'm going to make a video about it once I study all the muscles of the face again and figure out how I like to do it. But that's basically what I'm doing over there on the left. And I'm going to I'm keeping the top kind of flattish, so he has that kind of unimpressed look on his face. It looks like a little bit like, I'm too high elvish to really be concerned about whatever you're saying. And then the nose is slightly upturned, so here's the tip of the nose, and the nostrils are going to come up like that. Alright, cool. So I think we're already on a good, kind of like laid him out, and yeah, so let's just take it from there. So you got the cheekbones. I like what he's doing with the cheekbones here, emphasizing them, and then you got a couple, he skips a little area right here, and then emphasizes like the cheek. So that's nice technique right there with the inking. I don't know, it seems to be working out. Somewhat full lips, So I'm gonna go ahead, and they're unimpressed, seems like tilting down like, I don't know, but then there are these two little lines here, which kind of indicates that the mouth is being pulled back a little bit, pulled this way and this way, which indicates the start of a smile. Usually, you know, if you're sad, the bottom, these little lines won't be emphasized as much, and I think it kind of gives him, it helps with that arrogant thing, like he's like trying to hold back a smile, like, oh, silly humans, you know what I mean? Like they're so quaint. How quaint. Not sure if I've captured it, but I'm gonna go with that. And then, so one thing I like to do, so this isn't really, I'm not feeling the nose there. I'm gonna start it over. I'm gonna put it in like this, and get the shape in with that diamond shape. I decided to note the tips up there, and then emphasize that. So it's a little bit upturned. There, yeah, that's good. I like that. Cool. And yeah, so like I'm saying, like the original drawing is really, I think he's captured, like if you watch the time lapse, which I should have showed you either at the beginning or the end or in the middle. I probably should show you guys that at the beginning, so that's probably how I'll edit it. Man, you see, he used the fantastic anatomy method and all that stuff and did a great job. So there's not too much for me to add here. I think the main idea would be to like the one thing that I feel like is like the nose and the eyes and stuff, they don't feel like they're playing as well together. Like they're not, like here's the eyes and then here's the nose and there's this empty space over here. There's an empty space over here. So that's the main thing that I would like to work on a little bit, is to try to make sure that everything's fitting together really cleanly, but whilst you know, like they all like are interacting with each other, I suppose, in the right way, but also doing that while still having that long face to keep his character. So one thing I'm going to do there is I'm going to kind of, so there might be this jaw muscle coming up right there. So let's see if I can just emphasize that a little by having, like, see that little bump right here. I think that's going to kind of, and then come swooping down a little more, and then here maybe I'm going to say, okay, so there's this shape right here, so the chin sticking out on the bottom, but underneath here is going to be more shadowy. So let's go ahead and emphasize that. And what else? Now the thing is, once you outline stuff, like, so it looks sketchier, so there's a lot of extra lines, but if I was to delete these lines, erase them, it's going to start looking more empty. So then I'm going to say, all right, well, I don't want to add too many like lines like this and stuff, because then the elf is going to start looking older and older the more lines you add, and elves are not supposed to look old. So how can I remedy this? It's a genuine question I don't actually know the answer to. So I'm thinking adding a little bit to show the shape of the nose. So the nose is going to be, you know, oops. You know, we're going to have the side plane shown a little more on the two sides, but I'm not going to shade them in. I don't know why. I don't feel like doing that. I think it's going to bring too much attention to the nose area. And then right here, yeah, you got a little shadow. The hair pulling back looks pretty good. Sometimes I like to emphasize the top as a separate, you know, and then like this is going to go down like that. So it's just mostly in my mind, even though it's a continuum. I kind of think of the top and the sides a little differently. I'm still trying to figure out hair, but that seems to be one little tip that helps with the hair coming down. And then one thing for the muscular neck, so his has kind of like a concave shape like that. I like when the neck becomes more muscular to almost make it convex. And then there's the tricep comes out, so there's still the concave right here, but to have that sternocleidomastoid that's coming down from behind the ears here to be puffed out a little bit if he's really buff. I feel like that conveys. You know, you can't have like a strong, thick sternocleidomastoid muscle if the rest of you is not pretty strong and thick. So I like that. That's a good indicator when you're drawing a portrait. And is this nose too small? I'm gonna shade underneath it. Let's do a little bit of shadows. Shade underneath the mouth. I don't want that bag under the eye because I'm trying to keep him looking young. And I think we're getting towards the end. I don't want to color it and stuff like that because it's going to take a long time, and I just wanted to do a quick sketch over. But this was really fun actually, and I really like it because this kind of character is not like, you know, everyone has, I feel like, their sensibilities and what shapes and stuff they tend towards and what kind of characters they tend towards. So this might not be a character that I would create. Because I would probably make my elves a little more feminine in the jaw area and in the neck, but like I like this dude, he's pretty cool. So it's fun. Like, I like this exercise. Actually, I think maybe this is going to be the start of a new series, and I hope you guys will send me more of your characters drawn in the Fantastic Anatomy style for me to redraw in my own style and just kind of talk about like what I'm noticing about the character that makes him or her unique and all that stuff. So that'll be really fun. Let me go ahead. So let me know in the comments if you want me to send, if you want to send in one of your drawings, and I'll give you my email, or you can, or maybe I'll make a new Discord or something. We'll figure it out. But also, one thing that I did here was have, so the neck's coming down like here. He's kind of got the neck on an ellipse like this, but for some reason I feel like that means that the eye level is about here. So that means that the face, I would say you're almost looking up at the jaw slightly. You see that? And then everything would be a little bit, you're looking up. Does that make sense? These are supposed to be the eyes. These are the eyes for eye level. That's where your eyes are, okay? I like to do the eye level, at the level of their eyes. Therefore, when you're looking down, this is going to look more, when I'm doing portraits at least. When I'm doing full body, I tend to put the eye level somewhere around like the waist or chest. So anyway, so my point being is that that's how I would do it. So in that case, I'm going to want to make you're looking more down on the neck, so it's going to be a bigger ellipse like that. And then the shirt will wrap around like that. See, so you got like that, and it'll come all the way around, almost like you're looking down at it. See what I'm saying? And also this is true, I think, is emphasized not only because you're looking down, but also because the trapezius comes up and it has to go up behind the trapezius muscle in the back, which is higher than the neck is in the front. So it's kind of going to have that double that little effect of the collar, like starting up higher and coming down lower. So I go ahead and emphasize that, and I'm going to leave the hood. I don't really have much to say about that because I'm not really that great at drawing the hoods, but I like how he did it, like how it's wrapping around like this. That's a good thinking, you know, it's going to have some volume and form. And also make the shoulders much broader. So an averagely broad shoulder would maybe be another head length wide over here, something like that. So you could bring it out here to be averagely length, and we could bring it out a little longer if you want him to be like a really buff dude. You know what I'm saying? So let me see what feels right for my guy over here. But I would say for like a normally buff dude, hey Pichon, just laying on my shoulder, you know, bring it out to like here. And actually no, see, that maybe normally buff would be here. So I see that guy looks really buff if you put the arm out there. See how much like that little difference makes? See, this guy looks normally buff right now since I brought it down a little bit. And I think that's good. I'm gonna give him a little more buffness. Look how much this little difference makes. It's crazy how subtle some things can be. All right, and I'm just gonna do it like that. So I think that's it. I think this is my version of Nerith Sun Speaker. And by the way, my name is Shamsuddin, which means like son of the faith or spirit of the sun. Dean's an interesting word that's a little tough to translate. But so I vibe with this guy. He's a sun brother, man. Might be in the Sun Clan. Alright, I gotta get this pigeon off me. He's tearing up my beanie. Why you tearing up my beanie, buddy? But I think that's it. So yeah, remember to go check out the Kobold Alchemist on Instagram. You can check out this and other drawings he's done and other D&D related content. And aside from that, this was really fun. I actually really like the way this drawing turned out. But yeah, I think we're good for now. So peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone. Oh, one thing I realized, actually, hold on, rewind. Oops, am I allowed to do that? I just realized that the eyebrows aren't really that high. Because, see, now that we've raised the eyebrows much higher, he has a whole nother, slightly more arrogant expression. And then I'm thinking, since the eyebrows are raised up, he's going to have a little bit more wrinkly forehead. Does that look right? Yeah, I think that's fine. So there, when I was just looking at him as I was signing off, I was like, I don't feel like I've captured the look in the eyes quite right. So I wanted to come back and do that. And then one thing that Sikra Yasin, coming in from the corner of the eyes, you can like connect them like that to make sure they all flow together. She wants everything fitting together properly. Cool. So that's it. So yeah, don't forget to send me, you guys, your drawings so that I can do more of these because that was really fun. And until next time, peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone. So go figure, I decided to paint this guy, so you're going to get 3 sign-offs from me today. Look at you guys, look at you, wow, that's so exciting. Because the sign-off, of course, is the best part of my videos. Everybody knows that. So, alright, so what I did here was basically, here I can show you, I combined them all into one layer. So I painted underneath the sketch layer. Then I combined them all into one layer, and I guess, you know what, maybe I should show you guys a little bit of the time lapse here. Start time lapse replay. Oops. Okay, let's move along. Okay, so we drew this, we drew that. Alright, so right around here, so I started coloring it all in. And I did do a little shadow stuff because I just decided to use the shadow colors that he already got. Then I realized I wanted to do another shadow layer, so I did that, but then I took it off. Alright, and then I realized I didn't have his little, I don't know what that little patch of fur underneath his lips called, but that's a main part of his character. And so, worked on that. So then you can see right around here is where I merged the layers into one. And then I'm just trying to get rid of some of the extraneous lines and just, like, you know, thin those out. Using the colors from around the area to just try to emphasize more a painterly style and de-emphasize the lines a little bit. And so it's kind of worked out. Here we got the piece right there. And then I'm just going to add some highlights. I'll show you guys where I would do that mostly. But I think really it's mainly right on the tip of the nose. And you'll see how it kind of brings out the thing. Maybe a little bit on the ridge. And he did this too. I don't know if I would bother putting it up here on the maybe a little bit, but you want to be subtle because those are really going to like make things pop. So I'm going to make sure the eyes are nice because I want them to be focal points. So those will be almost white, and then maybe in the hair a little bit, keep like a, you know, make a shiny streak. Basically there's a streak here, but I'm representing it with little lines for each of the hairs, and maybe a little bit tiny on the hair there. And if I wanted to, you know, it would kind of go along this line because the sun's coming from there. So it doesn't need to be this shiny, and maybe I should have done it with a screen or overlay or lighten mode as opposed to just putting white straight on there. But you can see how I like this idea, like this whole form is being treated as something like that. And then his neck's coming out of here. So if the sun's shining on here and we got shiny, then everything along this line right there, see all that black is going to be black, and there's going to be a line of shiny. And here's your line of shiny right there, following that form, and I just kind of put some highlights on there. So that's probably what I would do, and I also put a little bit, you can see the nose is a little more pink than the rest of the face. Also did that on the ears a little bit, I think, but it might have gotten covered over by the highlights. But yeah, so those are a couple little things I've done, and hopefully in the next episodes I'll get better and better, and we can learn from each other and all that stuff. So, for the final time, God willing, peace, God bless, and stay fantastic, everyone.